Currently, the Securities and Exchange Commission and Ripple are involved in a legal dispute on the pricing of Ripple, which is a cryptocurrency that acts as a bridge currency between the United States of America and China. Ripple and the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) have reached the conclusion that the filings would result in financial losses for both taxpayers and Ripple at this point in the dispute, which has been going on for several years. Attorney Bill Morgan recently submitted a proposal to reject claims that the corporation committed pricing suppression in the complaint that was brought forth by the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC). A reply letter that Ripple Labs has produced in support of its move to seal exhibits relevant to those applications lends support to the motions for remedies and judgment that have been presented by the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC). According to attorney James Kay, the most recent files that Ripple has created have been made available on social media and Site X. Over the course of the past few years, Ripple Labs has been consistently releasing any and all papers that are associated with the SEC lawsuit. The United States Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) introduced a motion on May 21st to challenge Ripple's position regarding anything and everything related to XRP. Before we get started, we would be grateful if you could give it a substantial thumbs up, click the button to subscribe, enable notifications, and become a member of our community. Thank you in advance for your assistance. The SEC stated that the closing request has the potential to conceal significant facts from the general public, which may be of critical importance to the determination that the court will make regarding remedies. The most recent request that Ripple made to have the financial facts and terminology that were used to construct and support the remedy request denied, which resulted in the court requesting that the ruling be reversed. Furthermore, the regulatory agency did not comply with Ripple's requirement that the financial particulars of the discounts that were made accessible to Ripple's institutional clients be kept hidden. Ripple Labs emphasized in its opening brief that it had already addressed numerous of the SEC's issues and that it had stated its opposition to the opening brief that the regulatory agency had submitted seeking remedies. Ripple Labs pointed out that it had already addressed these concerns. On the other side, it reacted by citing two reasons that were offered by the SEC in the opposition brief that it submitted on May 21st. Ripple is of the opinion that the Securities and Exchange Commission has made an incorrect assertion by claiming that particulars of the company's current financial status are relevant to the determination that the court will make regarding remedies. A statement that was made available to Ripple's Institutional Purchasers Corporation made it quite clear that the company does not dispute its inability to pay the penalty that was issued. Instead, it is making an effort to protect the secrecy of highly confidential business information in order to protect not just its own interest, but also the interests of third parties. It should not be possible for the Securities and Exchange Commission to compel the disclosure of extremely sensitive and confidential financial information belonging to Ripple simply by bringing up reasons that have no substance. This is especially true in circumstances where the court has the ability to reject those arguments without taking into consideration any of the highly confidential facts. Certainly, this is a fascinating new discovery, mainly due to the fact that the Securities and Exchange Commission has been able to arrive at a conclusion despite not having access to this material. In addition, the Securities and Exchange Commission has been unsuccessful in its efforts to compel Ripple to disclose highly confidential financial information. One of the criticisms that has been leveled against the Securities and Exchange Commission is that it has been hypocritical and has not been transparent about the situation. This is due to the fact that they have spent the past few years with the intention of concealing everything possible and maintaining the confidentiality of everything. Concerns have been raised over the legality of the action as a result of the Securities and Exchange Commission's failure to take into account the highly confidential facts. In their most recent filing, Ripple Labs addresses certain allegations that have been made concerning the impact that automated sales have had on the price of Ripple. As a result of the decision made by the Securities and Exchange Commission to modify the manner in which Ripple is sold, this video discusses a number of potential applications, one of which is the possibility of using Ripple as a bridge currency on a global scale, particularly in the United States. In response to the announcement made by the SEC that its previous contracts are no longer relevant, the speaker expresses its disapproval. According to their argument, a sizable portion of Ripple's on-demand liquidity users do not want to be recognized because they are worried that their rivals will soon start utilizing the new technology. This is the reason why they do not want to be identified. Furthermore, Ripple expressed its disagreement with the statement made by the court, which stated that the criteria that the court had defined as being indicative of institutional sales during the summary judgment process are no longer satisfied by the XRP sales that Ripple has made. The speaker is of the opinion that there are ways to get around this problem, such as Ripple's current practice of selling XRP to customers so that they can use and connect with Ripple's entire platform. On the other hand, the speaker makes the observation that Ripple's subsidiary in Singapore is independently operated. This subsidiary is not directly regulated and overseen by the headquarters of the company, which is located in San Francisco. Ripple is currently utilizing XRP for any corridor that does not contact the United States of America. On the other hand, they have been utilizing Tether, which is a stablecoin designed to be used for any corridor that does touch the United States. To facilitate the beginning of transactions of this nature, a workaround has been designed. On the other hand, it would appear that even if these workarounds were put into place, they would not be adequate to prevent Ripple from being utilized across the entirety of the Earth. The speaker suggests that there may be a better path forward for using Ripple as a bridge currency to touch the United States. This is in response to the fact that the speaker argues that there may be a better route forward. Only if it is not XRP, which is the only cryptocurrency that is currently subject to regulatory certainty in the United States, will it be considered a cryptocurrency. These individuals are of the opinion that it would be unreasonable for a court to allow any cryptocurrency to be used as a bridge currency. These individuals are of the opinion that this would be in line with their views. The ruling on the institutional sales of Ripple is currently being considered by Judge Torres, and the speaker believes that the decision will not be upheld. The talk also includes Colonel Bill Morgan, who is a member of the XRP community. He is a participant in the discussion. The remarks that he makes are really significant. They were not convinced by the concept of price suppression, which they believe to be a flawed argument. Specifically, the argument that Ripple is making is that the company's sales of XRP to auto customers do not contain any of the conditions that the court believed to be significant for establishing whether or not over-the-counter contracts were investment contracts. This is the argument that Ripple is making. There are price reductions included in these agreements. There have been instances in the past in which the business Ripple has offered discounts to certain customers. However, these discounts frequently come with a lockup term that can continue for as long as a year, during which the XRP in question cannot be sold again. In spite of this, the court ruling does not consider this to be a cause for concern, despite the fact that there is a risk. Due to the volatility of Bitcoin, those who push for the quarrel that Ripple throws on average investors in order to lower the price of XRP are dealt a severe blow, according to Tony Morgan, who believes that the steps made by Ripple are a crushing blow. A variety of arguments that illustrate why it is completely ludicrous have